Hello friends, I am Movie Recap and this is the John Lee Paulette film. The junkyard-found battle robot shook the whole world into silence. In the future, ordinary boxing fights went out of fashion. As Jalalov says, boxing stars stopped being interesting to people. Instead of them, terrifying rock show performing robots came to battle for the audience. Former professional boxer Charlie traveled around the country and participated in fights with his own robot. However, winning was only a dream for him. One day, a guest came to him. The cautious Charlie, who did not want to buy the ball, put aside his sorrow and met with his friend Vicky, an arena manager and cook. He promised Charlie that if he made his robot fight one of the champions, he would give him a good payday. Charlie, who decided to take the risk, said he would pay $200, and Vicky emphasized that if he lost, he would have to sit quietly this time. The fight began and Charlie started showing off to the public. So far, everything was going well. The soulless champion did not spare his fists for the iron fight. But the people applauding did not notice that Charlie sensed the champion's attack from behind and the robot lost one leg. Vicky did not stop the fight, and Charlie, who did not want to admit his debt and did not want to let anyone know about it, tried to hide it. Some unfamiliar men told him that his former wife had died and his children needed to be sent to a hostel. But the man, who did not want to care for his son, gave up his hotel rights and left. The deceased relatives wanted Max to look after him and Charlie paid the money for this right. He trusted his son about this, but he had no choice but to endure all this. To pay his debts, for example, he sold a samurai robot from the black market and bought it. Charlie lived together with Billy, the daughter of the late trainer. The girl was going to buy an expensive robot with the unpaid salary. He moved his daughter to the village, but Billy insisted that she needed to pay for the expenses. The little result was that Atas, who came to sell him, was afraid to share the money he earned with him. Charlie, who was worried about selling the robot and buying it, emphasized that if he did not stop, he might lose his leg. Balaki, who decided to stay, was silent when he saw the robot Atas had bought. Charlie tried to control the robot with voice commands, but it did not listen to him. For this reason, he started to think that he was useless, but Max to Atas modified the language analysis of the unit robot from the broken speech. Charlie, who gained confidence in the whole, managed to connect his robot's machine and unite. Max also suggested signing with him and the homeless man agreed. At night, underground robot fighters came to the arena. Max was very surprised by the players. This time, the victorious Charlie was recognized by the fight organizer as the best. He seemed upset, but Charlie, who did not listen to him, prepared his new samurai for a fight with the club's star, Maker, and Metas. The samurai gave no chance to the opponent. Spectators applauded the robot and Charlie said he was short of money. But due to distrust, he took the blows and passed them on, and only the samurai came to his aid. Charlie, who did not have good control of the robot's hand, did not protect it, and his rival, better familiar with his robot, slapped the samurai's head. Nowadays, when there is mouth control left on the Turkish robot, Max should keep his robot in good condition and not bring it to fights, but Charlie, who did not want to admit his mistake, made him angry. While running home, he entered the nearby junkyard to collect parts for the new robots. While collecting parts, Charlie told his son how robots are distributed and how they are taken from colorful people. Max, confused by his father's words without seeing his pride, collapsed into sadness and one of the robot's arms was broken. Charlie quickly arrived and saved his son. Max, who came from the village, saw how his life was saved. Max offered to take him home, but Charlie did not want to settle there with a junk robot. For this reason, Balaki took his robot to the village and brought it on a cart. Half a day later, they arrived at the sports hall and Billy was amazed to see the condition of the samurai. The woman, who was angry at Charlie's foolishness, fainted before destroying the whole place and needed to be treated. But the man who apologized with magical words, Billy. The woman who inspected the robot said it was an old model made for dancing, not for fighting. They said the robot still worked and survived. They noticed that this robot had a special function that could imitate human movements. Max, who kept the robot awake from the beginning, saw that its name was Adam. The broken Balaki suggested unofficial fights for money, but no one wanted to use the junkyard-found robot. Max, who operated the profitable robot, went out at night and taught its first moves. After that, Billy came and asked about the village people, and Billy, who laughed with a ring, showed Charlie's medals won in fights and said he fought well before. Since the era of robots began, his fighting skills were no longer interesting to anyone, and he was just having fun with a useless boxing robot. Charlie, who talked about this, said that his son Max planned to go to Atlanta to find a partner to sell his new robot. When they arrived at the destination, Charlie appointed Max to find a finisher at the current hall. The bored boy protected the undefeated champion Tako Mishida. A Japanese engineer gave an interview to journalists, saying that Zeus clearly described the examination of Lubin, who came out to fight him in the arena. At the same time, Charlie asked his friend Finden for a loan, but Gorovai did not send the money. Max, who was offended by the insult on the horse, left. Charlie, who was looking for money to participate in professional fights, decided to settle in street fights and arrived at the first fight arena. The fight began and Max controlled the robot and took it under control. Until then, the horse did not attack but blocked the opponent's blows and did not move its leg. Charlie directed his knowledge there. The horse, which received a blow to the head, fell heavily to the ground and a 30-second count began. Max ordered the robot to stay in position and the horse did not listen much, surprised by this. The 2 rounds ended. Charlie did not want to trust his son, but the bird's wing also saw it. The second round began and the horse's smart blow caused the opponent to lose balance. Max then took 2 victories. The next day, Max showed Adam the skilled control of the Japanese samurai and encouraged him to learn it quickly. Charlie advised him that it would be good to practice for the competition. Falling down, Charlie taught him fighting skills, but his goal was to win every fight and not to fall. Adam started to become a close partner who could win every fight and return the balls. Part of the money he earned went to pay off his debts. Because robots were becoming more popular for fighting and dancing, they were offered to participate in a big tournament. One of the managers who came to the master said the balls were controlled by Zeus's followers. The lady said that Zeus needed a sparring robot and was ready to pay $200,000 for Adam. Charlie quickly agreed, but Max did not want to sell his favorite toy. The fight began and 2-headed execution robots came out to the ring. Max did not stop playing with the flashy robot to entertain the audience. The fight started and the double-headed robot began attacking Adam without giving him a chance. Charlie accidentally caught the opponent's thin spot and encouraged Adam to switch from defense to attack. Adam, who dodged the opponent's blows, defeated his opponent with a powerful apricot strike to the ground. The audience was amazed. Max took the microphone from the judge and thanked Zeus for the victory. The tournament started and a robot with a heavy reputation participated, but his fight was dull. Zeus fought in that style. Adam also fought but was hit by a blow at the start and fell. However, Adam got up and again fell to the ground from the blows. Despite all this, Adam, who did not give up on Charlie, recovered from the professional blows and increased his damage. The children started to criticize and the old robot finished the first round late at night. The fight continued. Adam heroically survived 3 rounds. By the 4th round, Zeus received heavy hits and suffered serious damage and Adam's skilled control stopped working. When the round ended, Max began to activate Adam's vision function for his father. Seeing that the undefeated robot champion was about to lose, the spectators started to tremble. Charlie, who listened carefully, encouraged Adam with motivation and the final round began. Adam did not fall from defense, which worried Max, but Charlie emphasized patience. When Zeus's power ran out, Charlie started working and began to dodge Tyson's blows without stopping. Seeing that the champion was about to lose, the Japanese took control of the spirit in his own hands. But Charlie, who did not forget the fighting art, threw Zeus to the ground with an apricot strike. But the guard made a mistake and Charlie attacked his body with a heavy blow. The gong announcing the end of the fight saved Zeus from knockout. The audience cheered and Adam. However, after all this, Zeus stood with his arms open and said he was found. At times, because of his heroism, reached the status of a national hero. Charlie hugged his son and emphasized his pride. Although they lost on paper, for ordinary people they became real heroes and legends. The end.